Happy Wednesday, everyone. I kind of just with my schedule at the moment, I pretty much go from work to the train to the gym, workout, half hour, walk back, 20 minutes, cook. Normally I'd have some meals prepared, but I haven't at the moment. And then, by the time all that gets ready, pretty much straight into streaming till 9:30 or 10 o'clock, 10:30, something like that. So that's where we're at. A bit hotter today as well. And I want to add. I wonder if I can. Just do text. Discord now. And what is the right, that was just the description. So be Discord now see about section. Pop that there. There we go. There we go. Alrighty, so last time I finished off the wormtail and got that all modeled up, and then started working on this guy. Was horribly distraught after posing him, but I think we're in a better position now. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna move the feet the mask to be a lasso. And we'll take about that much. And we'll move that down. that. And then we won't actually bend the leg, but we'll bring the knee down a bit as well. And I know that won't be perfect, but we can kind of use that here. That one should just move down. And then we'll just move the knee bend down a little bit. Again, not perfect, but that will do. And then we can make that probably doesn't need to stretch as much then. I think this is too high. That's probably better. And we'll leave it like that because we'll merge those. And then we just have to move the move the toes back into position. This foot will bend a little bit. I'm just gonna get, I should have done this when I was posing it, but heavy. like carrying heavy weights. A lot of these are in there. A bit like holding everyone's carrying on their back, which I know probably better, but that's not what I want. Yeah, people get very compressed when they're doing it. That's not good. Yes, that's better. I think the pose is fine. I think the pot is, I mean, obviously it's not attached, but I think it's just floating too far out. So we'll just change that. So we'll do that, and then we'll just bend the toes a little bit. So that'll be there, but like that. That one will be like that. And that one we'll put like that. The legs will definitely need some reshaping. Alright, so I also want that off. So last time I also made, see that. Ah, yes. So we somehow kind of made like a, no, it didn't. It's showing. Oh, that's right. You gotta do this, and then here. I think it just needs to be more like that, and then we'll make some handles for him to hold onto that, and that's fine. And now we can move these. And these are just kind of in placeholdery positions at the moment, just to show that he's actually like carrying something. But we'll probably put like a like a disc in there, and then model off some smaller ones to go in there to make it look like it's full. We don't want the tooth to be covered up, so let's just move these around a bit, maybe like that, and then this one can be like this. Okay, bit of variety. So we do need something for him to hold on to make it look like he's holding on. We could bring his hands in. I was thinking maybe one down here and one on the side, just to make it less symmetrical. What we'll do though is we'll build something, see what that looks like, and then go back. So let's just save. But yeah, what I was saying about how quick I have to be to get back. I was going to 3D print the tail for the worm guy, but it's saying it'll be 2.5, but I think it'll be more like 3.5. And it kind of just pushes it, and then you've got to pull it apart, pull the supports off, and the supports didn't look that difficult to get off because there's no mouth or anything like that you're having to try and remove them from. But I think it'll be something that I will do on the weekend, so just get up early Saturday and just put it on, and then go through a few chores, and by then it'll be done. So I think that's what we will do. Okay, so let's append a sphere, and we'll move that The other thing I wanted to do was to put some like geometric worm shapes probably on the outside. So we probably don't want too much. So obviously the easiest thing to do would just be to have a big sphere that he's holding onto, right, like that. But that's not going to be great. So I'm thinking we'll make like a big elaborate handle maybe. So if we put a sphere, so like here, and like roughly in the middle, so like that, and then one here. And then we'll make, we'll use maybe like a Z sphere. And we'll pop that there for now. maybe something like that. And then we'll kind of connect it onto the sphere here. And then we've got heaps of geometry there, so we'll just drop that down. A little more geometry. And then we'll square these off. That's not too bad. What else have I been doing recently? So my ever-growing collection of hobby things arrived. So Necromunda Hive War rulebook. So that'll be a good read. Looks like there's some good setup and scenarios and things like that. Heaps of terrain as well, which is what I don't have very much of. Wondering if I can curl this a little more. Maybe this one too. Something like that. Yeah, that looks good. Considering we're not doing this like straight on. Yeah, yes, dragon symbols. So let's take this off. For those new, I finished printing our little molten lava dragon and base. And that is what the Moleman worship. So we might use this surface here, so so he's kind of got like one under jaw and two pointy over jaws. So if we did like so we want mask pen. Pen, not pen curve. It's better. So if we did like maybe something like that. We'll see if this works anyway. So we will go we can't do it. Oh, there it is, extract. And then a little bit of thickness, a little more. Cool. So it looks kind of wonk, but what we'll do is reshape this a little bit. Something like that, and then we'll just move it down a little bit. We'll add a lot of geometry. And then we'll pinch these edges together. Yeah, something like that. I think that looks good. So let's just see. Second, this would have been a lot easier if we had done this. So if we just go 90. Oops. Pop that here. That's not what I wanted. I want this mirror. No. This mirror. So then if we duplicate geometry, subtools, and then we'll go mirror, and then we'll go duplicate, and mirror, maybe this way, nope. Yeah, I mean, again, we'll just start playing around with some designs, but I think that looks alright. I'm almost wondering if I do like shoulder straps, but I know that the supports for that will be horrendous, so let's not do that. Huh? So this is the terrain that the Necromunda stuff comes with. So it's kind of like panelled, highly detailed pieces, and basically makes up a heap of boxes. And then there are like computer panels and stuff, grates and things like that. So I think that'll be easy and fun to put together. But there's enough to go on this board. I say board, but it's like A3 piece of paper. But we've got the regular Hive City floor and then the red one. Which is cool. It was the one thing I was expecting to be cardboard, but that's not the case. Now, I'm almost thinking I'd just get rid of these and just do two on either side of the handle. Let's duplicate and mirror that, and duplicate and mirror that, and duplicate and mirror that. And then we'll get rid of that one. Oh, actually, we'll just hide that one. And we'll delete that one. So the other thing that we've hidden is his hat, which I think is up here somewhere. That's the full effect. So I wanted to make a, so the first set of miniatures is these like mole people with the worm as their final boss. And then I will either decide myself or poll for the next lots. But I also want to add some hints to what that might be, but maybe I can't do that just yet. We'll just append a cylinder at the moment, and we'll just line that up in here. I'm just going to really define this. What if I just like draw some stuff on it too? What we will do though, kind of want some like roughed up metal, sort of rusted metal. So let's go rusted metal. We still need to make that quite prominent, so just gonna add this noise. that out just so that we're starting to get some texture on the base, because this will be scratched up, always being put down and everything like that. Not so much in these ones, but this bottom one definitely. I wonder if I can just go no. Maybe like this one. This one. And image, sports, image, browse, pictures. Okay, so it's not a PNG. Oh, that was a lie. Why can't I get... This one works. Oh, the one I have for... So none of these are actually PNGs. It's so frustrating. Maybe I just get a square image. There you go. Can't believe that took so long to do. Oh, I like that. Make some cuts in this. That's really good. Okay, not as good as I thought it was going to be. Could you do a full circle? Yeah, kind of. That's all good. So for this part, I think we're gonna do like this beaten metal pattern. And it's literally just using the flatten brush to make it look like someone's used the ball point of a hammer to make this metal structure. So this will take a while, but the result's really cool. You kind of get like a little rigid section, and we'll probably do the same for this part here. So we'll probably just solid this so that we get every area. I'm sure if you had a stencil you could do this a lot quicker, but there's something cathartic about this. Looking good. All done. So you wouldn't be able to see it, but we did do that for the ball point of the axe on this guy. It's definitely not going to show up on the camera, but it's definitely there. It should come up a lot better on that, hopefully. But he'll probably be about this size. And then I think the other moles will be about that size. Probably a little taller than the mimic. We're like up to there. And then him compared to the worm is hard, but comes up to about here. Remembering the worm would be a lot larger, but we're only giving you the head and the tail. to 56. So do the same, smooth that all off. Just do this by itself. Kind of keep it the same size. Bit of the police going by there. Probably ambulance, usually ambulance. So just made this. So that carries through. And then so we'll smooth this off first. It's kind of a little rough around the edges anyway, but we'll and this can be mirrored, and then we might unmirror the smoothing of it. This one can be very smooth. So probably do something just for the front here then. But that is looking good. Maybe like a pickaxe. I was gonna say here what is holding could be pickaxes, but that'd be way too sharp. So probably not that. There's the gym membership. So apart from getting the Necromunda stuff, printing the worm, pretty much just been either playing Demon Souls, getting through that very quickly, and yeah, working on this guy. So let's do something about this hat. Oh, but this week I'll probably do my stream on Sunday, so we'll do we'll probably finish off these guys. So painting the rattling gunners and all the snipers and everything like that, and get those into like a good position, and then we'll what's left is the rat ogres and the heroes. So we'll do the rat ogres because there's 3 of them. One's kind of done. So I think that'll be fine. I feel like this knee needs to bend a little bit more. And this leg just ends up being really thin. So that's... That's better. We haven't saved in a while, so let's save. I need to remember to upload the video from yesterday or Monday up on YouTube as well. I don't think I could do that while I'm streaming, but we'll see. What else do you want to add? Might get some food. add my meals for the day. No, it can't be that one. So we'll do this. This. The math wasn't working on the servings of the chicken, but apparently it's 3. Okay, so let's do some modeling in here. Hopefully that's not going to crash. Okay, good. So what I'm going to probably do is just like pull up a few different sized areas. This. Probably doesn't need to be that high. And then just use the flatten brush to give some edges to the pieces. Just so that it looks like there's like little ones in there. feels almost similar to flat texture painting, which you would do. You would kind of make something like this, right, and then render that, and then use all that information for a texture on a flat plane. Except we don't have to worry too much about that. Alrighty. One more. It's not exactly what I thought I would be doing. We might just try again. Good thing this thing has two sides. So I'm thinking then what we'll do is we'll go like brush. That's cool. Let's add a spaceship. Let's not do that. Let's play around with some other bits and pieces. I like that. Oh, that cuts real deep in there. Okay. Okay. Let's go from here. And we'll try this again. I'm thinking maybe we go like Maybe some kind of like sludgy situation with some stones in there as something like that. Yeah, that looks good. Music has gone, don't need that anymore. So I'm gonna take this shirt and start doing some work on that. So I want a hole, but I don't think I don't think that does anything. What we want is this. So if it's we won't do it that way. I guess we'll append cylinder. So something like this, and then maybe a bit smaller. Want to move. Where's the shirt? That, and then that. Okay, that is definitely cutting all the way through, so that's good. And then we go boolean, and we go make boolean mesh. No, it's this one. Make boolean mesh. And then we go append. Oh, that's going to be everything. Okay, we don't want that. Let's get rid of everything that we don't want. So all of this. So many claws. Now we make boolean mesh. And this one deletes. So now we have to turn everything back on. It's very annoying. all that for a hole in a shirt. Oh, this guy? Hold on. No, I'm just trying to put a hole in a t-shirt. This is a moleman carrying a big crucible full of ores and minerals and stuff. And because they worship the worm god, I've kind of done... Oh, yeah. And then I've done like the... I need to refine them a little bit, but I just wanted to see what it looked like. I've got like the kind of Monster Hunter-esque, you know, like the symbols that they have for each of the monsters, but for the worm. So I'll cut in, so like, I'll like probably cut in some like goopy bits, you know, that kind of thing. And then the tusk here, that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, he's coming along. I did the posing on Monday after getting the tail. So the tail's all good and ready for printing. So that's good. The tail for the molten worm guy. So that's all ready, all on one print bed, which is good. And looking at the supports, it's going to be pretty easy to remove, which is also helpful. So I'll print that on Saturday. And then I did the posing for this guy. I'll save this and I'll show you what it looked like if I saved it after the initial pose. Maybe this one. Hold on. Okay. Open up. Or did I just accidentally save? No, that's fine. I mean, that's what he looked like standing. And then confirm. No. This one. Yeah. So this was the post state, and yeah, it didn't work very well. Well, I mean, I still used it, but if you're kind of looking at the translucent parts, like geometry's poking out of his shorts, and the arms are all like wrinkled, and the legs got like split here for some reason. Like the rigging process for this is horrible, but it's all that I have because I don't have any of the future updates for it. went from that, and then today we got to this stage. So he looks a lot better. With his little crucible. So he's one of the Ratmen, and then the others are still very much in concept mode, but we've got I don't even know if this one's even started. Sort of still very, very basic, but that's the that'll be the foreman, so the whip cracker, and then of the miners, he's not too bad. I couldn't decide if I wanted shoes or not. I don't think I will, but we'll see. And then the other ones, yeah, his feet are pretty bad. I think this is the same. Yeah, well, that's what the boots will look like, a little better. But I'm still not happy with that design. They still need a lot of work, but this is the miner with the sort of different weapons, so pickaxe and lantern, TNT, and the shotgun. Yeah, so he's a lot further in development. And then each collection will have its own like little, what do you call it? Feet, like, because the whole game itself is supposed to be, you know, these arches pop up in the world and they lead to different worlds. So each section of enemies will have their own arch as well. So, I mean, this is still very much work in progress, but that'll be the basic design there for theirs, which is like the mole skull and the pickaxe, and then that's the brick arch gate. But I might change that to crystals to fit in with the rest of the design as well. So it'll be like the starting point for all the players. So there's still a lot to do to get this first wave of stuff out, but the boss is done, which is the worm. That's what they worship. And then I just need to do the variants and do a lot really if we're thinking about it, but yeah, exactly, just doing bits and pieces here and there, pretty much getting through it, along with the other things that I'm doing. So obviously the painting, so next, or rather this Sunday, finishing off these guys. So it's Skaven, all the weapons, so that big sort of rattling cannon, and then these guys which have like long barrel, hold on, let me actually get my hands on the miniature, long barrel rifles with like a little wooden shield at the front. they've been fun to paint because it's a lot more metal and wood on those guys than the clan rats, which are just literally just rats with swords and shields. So I still think we're 7 of 50 fully complete. Yeah, they've got some chunky models. They've got rat ogres, which are they're a little bigger. They'll be in the next batch. So the rat ogres, and then there's a leader who's on a mount, which is pretty cool. And then there's someone called I think it's a warseer or farseer or something. And it's sort of like a magician rat, which is part of the spearhead, both spearheads. So that'll be an important one to do as well. And then the Tyranids after that. What's been happening with you? Are you back at uni, or are you still on hiatus for that at the moment? Yeah, no, that's fair. Just make sure that you could oh yeah. Yeah. Still got plenty of resin, so whenever you're ready for that. Yeah. Oh, this rocked up the other day. So so I went from having no gangs. Sorry, I went from having one gang, which I'm still only partially sure I have a full army for. I bought 2 boxes of Gene Stealers, the Necromunda ones, to fit in with my 40k Gene Stealers because I like their design. So I didn't buy them as Necromunda models. I bought them as 40k models, and I've had them for forever. I think since they were released, because I bought the first box at GW, and I think I bought the second one on like from one of the sale shops, so Vault or whatever. And so that's 12 gene stealers and like these little spore mines. I have a feeling, I haven't read into the rules, but I have a feeling that you need sort of like a synapse commander of some sort, so someone to control them. So I would be, I think, at least one model away from having that as a gang. And then about 4 weeks ago, I was in Vault and I saw a team that I was after, and I was like, it's there, I'll pick it up. Without doing any research, which is not what you should do, but it was on sale. They are called, I'll get the box, hold on. I'm still learning the names. So they're called the Escher Gang, and they're the sort of female lead gang, and then I think they have a few beasts as well. So I bought that box, and then I did some research and found out that one of the starter sets also has them. So it came with a heap of terrain and another gang, so I picked that up too. So now I have enough to run 2 gangs of the Escher, the other gang that came from the box, and these are the Gene Stealers, which are very spiky. Let's see if the auto fit, there you go. They're very twisted, more twisted than normal Gene Stealers. I just really liked their design. So I have technically 3 gangs now in the space of about 4 weeks. Which would have been the same anyway, but I guess I have 2 sets of the Escher gang now to build, like, I guess have more options, because it works the same as like Blood Bowl and things like that, where you buy, you have 1 million credits worth of money to start with, and then you buy your team, and then as your team progresses through a campaign, they get more funding, and you can either upgrade them, or if characters die, you replace them with the funds that you have. So I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I have the book now to read, so I will let you know in person, but yeah, it wasn't my first. My first was Lord of the Rings. But I actually played Necromunda with Afromat. I was in that with you and Seth and maybe another Matt, I think. Yeah. Don't remember the other players, but for sure. Whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know, but it is funny though, because the game I've played the most of, which is Kill Team, I don't have the rules for. The game I played the second amount of is 40k. I don't have the rules for that. I have the rules for Blood Bowl. I have the rules for Necromunda. I have the rules for Age of Sigmar and Spearhead, and I barely play it. Oh, you did a thing? As in, like, you participated, or you did end up getting some models? Oh, yeah. Do you know which faction, if you were going to choose? Let me just find out what the other faction and I have the book, so I can flick through that. Oh, okay. I need to switch. Oh my god, okay. So there's a lot of grain in the Delac. I'm not sure how that's pronounced, but there's only one orange. You've got orange. I'm guessing green is good. Van Sar is your other. Hold on, which gang did I get? Oh, guess what? The other gang is Delac. They're like vampire dudes with knives and blades and snipers and stuff. Yes, that's right. Yeah, correct. In the starter set I got. Yes, I remember reading, like, skimming over their rules, and two of their rules stood out. One is backstab, which sounds cool, and the other one is precision shot, which also sounds really good. But I don't know if that's just them or whether that's Yeah, see, it's something the Escher gang doesn't have. Oh yeah, I'm very much a play what's cool um, over rules, or if something outperforms even though statistically it shouldn't in a game, I will always run that and then be very heartbroken when it performs poorly, even though statistically how it performed in the first game or the game that I thought it was cool and it was overperforming based on like dice rolls or luck. But yeah, the space vampire guys are definitely the models in here. I don't know if it's going to focus. No, but that's the torso there. And then these are the girls. So they've got all the different mohawks coming up here. So they'll be fun to put together. But we'll discuss in person. I haven't 100% made up my mind because they are cool, but it would be very nice to be able to give them to someone. You'd be the first option, definitely, because other people that I know that are interested in playing haven't liked the vampires as much. So we can discuss. Oh. I mean, because I haven't actually, I assume that it is just like they gave you 2 of these boxes, right? I mean, rather whatever's in this box is in the starter set, or if it's not, it'll be very close. So it'll just give me the option to build, like if there's multiple options for building, I will have the ability to build multiple options so that, and again, like for our games, well, you would think for anyone's games you could proxy weapons as long as you let people know, but if I have the option now to build everything, if there are options, and paint them different, and just have like back rosters and backbench characters that I can bring in without having to be like, oh, I could afford to buy another character but I don't have the models for it, so then I have the spares for that. So because this box, the separate box is, usually says how many miniatures are in the box. I think it's 12 or 10 Citadel miniatures, And I think the starter set is the same. Or I could be really mean and be like, hey, Soden, guess what? Welcome to Necromunda. Build models and paint them, please. Yeah. Yeah, if with whatever we arrange for catch-ups and stuff like that, if there is any sort of build paint days, I mean, he's obviously welcome to come around, but we'll just make the intent clear that that's what it's for, and if he wants to hang out, that's fine. Because I understand what it's like to work on a project. Want to see it finished. So my problem is I have too many projects, and then I can't decide on what to do, and then I just end up playing games instead. And neither of that is productive. But speaking of, there are murmurs that we might be hearing about the Iceborne sized expansion for the new Monster Hunter game soon. So whatever environment they decide to do for that. Yeah, I haven't tried it since the big patch has come out, but apparently people are really enjoying it now. And there were definitely moments when there were performance issues, and I know we obviously had some connection issues, so if the patch doesn't fix those, then that's, it's a step in the right direction, but it's not helping with the actual main part of the game, which is to play with people. Yeah, I mean, I've always there are because I wiped my Steam library, as in like uninstalled stuff. But there are a few exceptions. So I mean, apart from Highguard, which I still have installed, which will get uninstalled very quickly. I have Baldur's Gate 3 because at some point I want to actually start and commit to that. I've got Dark Souls installed because I'm going to play that once I finish Demon Souls, which I'm playing on PlayStation. Elden Ring, which I could uninstall because I still need to beat Dark Souls 1, 2 and 3. Master Chief Collection because I'm playing that on Legendary with a mate in Melbourne. Hunt Showdown with you. Mass Effect Trilogy because I will start a second. I finished Mass Effect 1 and going on to 2. Mega Bonk for a very quick and casual game. And then the 3 sort of big multiplayer games that I will play with people: Monster Hunter Wilds, Monster Hunter World, and Space Marine 2. And that's it. That's everything that's installed at this stage. Trying to work out how this brush actually works. Okay, that's what I want. But it'll take some time to get back into Monster Hunter Worlds and finish off the last of the monsters in that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just remember the last time, like we spent a very long time getting those like, um, what was it, the ice weapons from the Bearoth, that snow leopard tiger flying guy, and we're like, all right, time to take on the next stage because they're weak to ice, and got annihilated, and then realized that there was like a whole other level of upgrades that we could get. It's like so much to do. Yes, the very super punchy guy that I can't remember his name. Did we beat the Rangjang as well, the monkey? I have a feeling we did. I have a feeling we were like, we did that session and it was just like, all right, see you later, I'm done, this sucks. It was not Super Saiyan Goku. I remember it would have been, it might have been before we kind of teamed up to beat that game, um, going in, and there's an event, and it shows like, it was showing it like a relatively low hunter rank than what I was able to do, and it showed two of those just regular Rangjang in the Wildspire Wastes, so the desert place, and I was like, wow, that should be fine. With the exception that I didn't read the text, and they basically become Super Saiyan straight away and like destroy you, and I was just like, I think I'm done with this game at that point. Yeah, pretty much. But I'm hoping that my spatial awareness gets better with playing the Demon Souls, Dark Souls games, because I just finished a duo battle or fight pretty underleveled in that last night. So hopefully that helps. god, it's 10 o'clock already. Do I want to keep going? I mean, I actually end up doing a bit today. I'll have to smooth that out. We're definitely getting a lot closer. Yeah, I think I'll finish there and do do some more on. Well, I'm not sure about Friday. So if I'm not on Friday, then Sunday, which will be the painting stream. So from 11 till whenever, but usually with at least 4 hours, because these rats aren't going to paint themselves. Yeah, I'll leave it there. Thanks for tuning in. We'll chat IRL at some point, chalk, and yeah, if I don't see people Friday, then Sunday. Alright. See ya.